Hey guys, what's up? It's Thomas. Tonight we're back here with Watcher, and well, he's back at it again. It's time for Puppet History. Yeah, Professor's back in action. If you guys remember the last time I reacted to this, which was before the old channel, dusted, I think. I don't know. Anyway, today we got the unkillable weirdo who invented the saxophone. Now, I didn't look up anything beforehand. I wanted to get surprised as you guys are. So let's learn more about the man who, well, can't die and then invented the saxophone. So, shall we hop in and get to see what the professor's been doing after getting back from the present? So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I haven't seen that set in a long time.
Welcome,
Professor!
Shining sixth season of Puppet
History!
Everything is different now. No longer will two innocent students be pitted against one another for our amusement, senselessly competing for the nonsensical title of History Master or that finally meaningless coveted cup. That
that's
was
great.
exploitative, cruel, and on behalf of the former murdered me, I apologize.
Somebody read their own Reddit page.
Moving forward, we'll be taking an ever-winding look at
yellow
chapters in the
chapter!
heavy book we call history, while our guests ruthlessly compete for the coveted title of History Wizard and the right to don the coveted cap. I, as always,
cap.
and for the first time, am your beloved host, the
Professor!
Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Now, it is my great pleasure to ask, Ryan
Bergara,
my
are
dear
you ready?
friend, are you ready?
Sure, man. Love the get-up. You're in your Beatles era.
Oh, you just wait, you'll find out.
The getup is what you noticed, not his brand new face.
Special guest,
He's
Stephen
seen him
Lim.
before.
Are you ready?
I haven't seen you since episode
Good to be
1.
back here.
For some reason, in my mind, I thought you died, but then I remembered that was
Oh, yeah,
the
bubonic plague.
Black Plague thing.
Wait, oh my gosh, the last time I've seen you face to face,
I was warning you about the dangers of a pandemic.
and I laughed about it.
Yeah, you did, you piece of shit.
Try
I'm
looking
sorry.
at
Oh,
I
yeah.
apologize.
Oh, I remember that.
Well then,
Let's crack in! Here we go. Adolphe Sax.
Your hair looks good
Oh.
this season, Professor.
Oh my God, you don't have a hat.
I don't want to wear my
Yeah, no more hats.
Crazy.
Look at that.
fuzzy little head.
Hey! Oh, that's cute.
It is pretty cool.
Are you bigger?
I'm bigger, but I'm still just a little guy.
Oh, yeah, born from dinosaurs.
You guys ready to learn?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, let's do it.
Begin. What kind of music you like?
I listen to pop music.
You listen to pop?
I usually just
Pop,
listen
you
to
know,
whatever.
Whatever's on the radio these days.
I listen to pretty much everything, honestly.
Amen.
Yeah, there's some reggae. I like Bob Marley.
I don't really give it a try.
Today, it's easy to take for granted the infinite ocean of musical genres, artists, and songs available in your cellular telephones. But, like everything, it wasn't always like that. Only a couple hundred years ago, if you wanted that hit new sound, you had to wait for someone to play something new in your presence. And if you wanted something you've truly never heard before, well, then you gotta find the true pioneers, the folks building their very own instruments.
It is interesting that there was an era where people were just making up instruments.
Yeah. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
whole span of time there where people were like, yeah, what about a little instrument that goes wop, wop, wop?
Or what about one like this?
Oh gosh.
Don't do that, Ryan. Okay. Stop.
The entire.
You're not there? You bewitched?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it integral? that they-
Okay, right. You can stop, Ryan.
These
Ryan, you
are
can
what
stop.
Founder meetings are like, by the way. Just
Jesus
FYI.
Christ.
This is how we started Watcher.
Our
Yeah, that's one way to go. Just back into the road things. Ryan just I don't know what was that about. Oh, man. Okay, that was just hilarious, but okay. But yeah, just still, the thing, like, most of the sounds we know today haven't been invented back in, like, 300 years, I say? 200? I don't know. But still, yeah, decades ago, or even millennia ago. Whew. More centuries, sorry. I'm having a hard time figuring it out. Anyway, moving along.
story today is about one such inventor, a man whose dreams about sound revolutionized music forever, and the myriad ways the universe hated and punished him for it. Let's
Really?
talk about Sax, baby! Adolphe Sax!
It just hit
Adolphe
me that the
Sax.
guy's name was
His name?
Sax.
Yeah, can
Like
you venture to guess what instrument he invented?
the
Saxophone?
I mean, if I had a
Probably the violin.
Zagging on us.
Hey!
Antoine Joseph Sax, that's
Okay,
Adolphe
Antoine.
to you and me, was born
Okay.
November 6th, 1814 in Dinan, Belgium. The
Dang,
first of 11
1814.
children, Adolphe's dad, Charles, was a successful and respected maker of musical instruments, specializing in brass and woodwinds. When Adolphe was still young, King William I of Orange, the
Hi, Willem.
new king of the Netherlands and Grand Duke of Luxembourg, brought Charles to his newly established royal court in Brussels and appointed him Belgium's chief musical instrument manufacturer.
Oh!
Our first
Hey, our first question.
of the
Let's see.
season. What
Bring it out.
was the main job for Belgium's chief musical instrument manufacturer? A. Create instruments for use at the Royal Concert Hall. B. Create instruments for the army.
Chief musical
Or C.
instrument.
Create instruments for the hundreds of entertainers in the king's court.
The way you set us up, it felt like we were going to be in a collaborative
I think I have my whiteboard up
learning
still. I'm
environment.
gonna
do you
see,
guys want
but
to?
if I
Maybe not with this guy, but
Okay. You don't want to collaborate with the guy who crosses his eyes and plays his belly button?
I cross my eyes.
You
gonna
look
have
pretty
to
fucked
download
up,
that.
man.
Man,
Okay,
that's what
wait a
happens when you
sec.
feel the music running through you.
Yes. Ryan, what you got over there?
I'm gonna put B. I just love the idea of a flute that shoots bullets. You would want them to be able to play a tune, but also double function as a weapon if
Yeah.
need be, like a bayonet
Yeah, that
on
sounds
top
about
of
right.
a saxophone.
Well, a bayonet would probably be better on a trombone, right? Because then
yeah, you could shoot that thing.
You could stab somebody.
you could stab him while going, whoa.
Yeah.
Steve, what'd you put?
I also put B, Battle of the Bands.
My beat boys are out here.
boys!
Beat, 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 buzz, buzz.
You gonna pop out your belly
Yeah.
button?
I think I would have gone with
Pop
C
it up,
at
bud.
least, since, you know,
times you gotta
considering
pick up.
everything.
Oh,
All right,
okay,
I'll
smart.
I
I'll
still
pay
gotta
you
figure
right
this
now.
out.
$5.
Do it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Drop that beat.
Beat, 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 beat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C.
You know what? I want it near your mic, so here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, get it.
Oh, God! Stop.
Beat, 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 boys. Beat, 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 beat.
I'm not a B-boy. I'm good. God, this is so weird. Sorry.
Having fun this season. I'm here.
Okay.
Fucking doing it, man. All right.
Okay, we'll
well,
take it.
that's gonna be beans all around for my
Oh, West
beautiful
Beat?
beat boys.
All right. Okay, I'll take a loss. I'm good.
Yes, sir. It's been
Oh,
true
wait, but
throughout
okay.
history and remains true today. If you owned a business, the surest way to prosperity was to set those
Join the
walls
army.
on a shelf and score yourself some of that sweet government cheese. Ideally, in the military. But the question remains, why would an army need a bunch of instruments? Well, back in the first half of the 19th
Well?
century, regimental band music was a crucial element of military prestige and prowess. If you wanted a foreign nation to respect your military might, short of trying to murder them with bullets,
Pretty much.
you could instead play them a sample from your band camp. During this era, music was such an essential part of the armed forces that military victories often meant you got to take all the instruments from the losing army.
Oh,
Really?
That's amazing.
Don't take my
Talk about a
flute.
deadly battle of the
Get a
bands.
Rickenbacker guitar?
Yeah, you kicked my friends' asses, but don't take my flute.
Well, they're dead.
Good deal. They'll buy it from your cold dead hands.
Bullshit.
Pretty
I
much.
think if we were in a war, what I would want from you, but I don't think there's anything you have
Ouch.
that I'd be like,
Feels
I
pretty
feel like if I was in a war, they'd probably
With
take
his
the
dad
PC I
collecting
have.
that government paycheck, one would think young Adolphe must have lived the carefree life of a happy Belgian child, munching on waffles and pissing in fountains, the type of European childhood fairy tales are written about.
Let me
But
guess,
such
no.
was not the case for our little Brussels sprout.
What happened?
That was funny, huh?
It was good.
Brussels sprout. I get it. Oh, here we
How
go.
did Adolphe spend his youth? A. Learning military tactics from his father's army clients. B. In and out of Belgian jail for disturbing the peace. Or
That's
C.
later.
Stuck in a Final Destination-esque death loop. Ryan, what'd you put?
I put A, learning to mass murder.
Okay, and
I'm gonna go C, considering everything.
see? Final countdown?
Well,
Fine.
a point for Stephen Lim.
Oh, hey, got one. All right.
It's unclear the
Woohoo!
nature of the curse that seemed to be placed on Adolphe's head as a boy, but listen to this list of events and tell me nothing was up.
Okay,
At
guys.
age 2, he tumbled down 2 flights of stairs, bonking his head on a little rock so severely that he was comatose for a week. At age
Wow.
3, he chugged a glass of sulfuric acid, which he thought was
What?
milk, which may have only been one of 4 substances that he
Four?
poisoned himself with, including
Holy
white lead,
hell.
copper oxide, and arsenic.
Okay.
Wait,
What?
when you're 2 and
How?
3, you can't be held responsible for your actions. This sounds like parental negligence.
Well,
but
you know,
Ouch.
you can't be leaving glasses of sulfuric acid out.
around
Yeah,
your
where was
kids.
Yeah, no kidding. Where'd you get that?
Sulfuric out?
I don't know what they're up to in
Honey, where
Belgium.
should I put this glass of sulfuric acid? Oh, put it in the fridge.
He once swallowed.
Yeah, okay, I'll be real. Like, the stairwell actually reminded me of the time I busted my chin falling down the stairs. But I don't think it was like 2 flights. It was just like 1. I think it was at the neighbor's house at least. Luckily, I wasn't comatose. Just stitches. That's it. But still, what? 2 flights? Holy hell. What was it, like 3rd floor? Just like... I get up and imagine like Peter's like fall down the stairs. Just like... I don't know why. It's kind of funny. Oh, man. Anywho, moving along. What else did he get into other than drinking poison and falling downstairs?
Swallowed a needle. He jumped onto a burning hot stove.
Ouch!
Some gunpowder exploded in a workshop, which threw him across the room and left his body badly burned. A tile dislodged from a roof and fell on his head. And at age 10, he fell in a river and was about to be pulled into a whirlpool until he was saved by a villager. By the time he was a teenager, Adolphe's head was scarred and half his body was covered in burns. Cool, but he'd survived the gauntlet. And
Are you
god
sure?
damn it if he wasn't gonna make something of himself.
So he looked like Darth Vader, kinda.
It sounds like it was only half his body though, so he had big Harvey Dent energy.
Okay, so Harvey Dent
Yeah.
more. Well, that's quite the rap sheet. This all
Two-Face,
seems
yeah,
pretty
no
wild.
kidding.
I mean, how wild is it for that time period, though? Like, these are just like normal
Yeah, no
things
kidding.
back then.
You know, I guess tile on
Just
your head, nothing
bonk.
to do about that. Just looking up right now, I could see about 6 or 7 things that would instantly.
Yeah, I got plaster above me, so I'm good.
Between
I think.
regular
I don't
brushes
know.
with death, Adolphe was quickly learning his father's trade, surpassing his old man in both skill and ambition. By age 15, his instruments were already good enough to display at the Brussels Industrial Exhibition. By 20, he'd invented his very own instrument. That was, of course, say it with me,
The sax.
the
The
bass
saxophone.
clarinet.
I knew it.
Gotcha,
With the bass-
Steven.
You son of a gun.
You knew it, so you'll get a history point for knowing that I was zagging.
Okay, you were.
Oh, wait, that makes sense, though. The shape of the bass clarinet is similar to the shape of the sax.
It is.
Oh yeah, it must have been that first
neck.
then the
I was
sax.
thinking of the more Squidward
My bad.
kind of clarinet, but no.
Hey,
played
no,
that
I'm
one.
fun behind.
You did?
Yeah, me and Lizzie both played the clarinet.
Do those reeds taste good?
No. And they
Can't
get
imagine.
disgusting.
Do they
Yeah,
sell
I'm sure.
flavored ones?
They actually
Don't think so.
Good idea, dude.
I had some because they were so disgusting.
Well, in
I
fact, the
can't
bass
imagine.
clarinet already existed, but the version that people knew before Adolphe got his mitts on it, sucked. Adolphe
Ouch.
transformed the bass clarinet from a, quote, unreliable and mostly unplayable instrument into a regal, elegant woodwind that provided a rich bottom to any instrumental configuration and, remarkably, played in tune. The newly rehabilitated instrument had quickly been adopted as a standard member of the woodwind group, and its inventor acknowledged as an engineer of great promise in the musical capitals of Europe.
I've played on some
Alright.
bad clarinets
Sounds
before,
fun.
like the $200, $300 ones.
Yeah.
They don't compare.
What's the worst you've
Really?
ever played in front of an audience?
Once we were playing the Harry Potter theme song, or whatever it's called. And,
Can we put a picture up of young Steven right now so we could get some context for who's carrying this clarinet?
And man, I ruined that bag.
Wah, wah.
Yes, sir, Adolphe!
Okay, kind of it. That was actually pretty interesting. So, not only the sax, but also the modern bass clarinet. Huh, who knew? Actually really interesting when you think of it like that. Huh. Okay, I mean, goes to show you, like father like son, though except the son's kind of got a death warrant on him by death himself. Yeesh. Anyway,
Adolphe was well on his way to being a somebody in the cutthroat business of instrument manufacturing. But take my word for it, when you start making big waves in a stodgy, stuck-in-the-past industry, you're gonna make some enemies. With his invention of the new and improved bass clarinet, a jealous bass
this going?
clarinetist who played the old, barely
Uh-oh.
listenable version of the instrument threatened to
Oh.
quit his orchestra if they adopted the new version.
did they go with it? Oh,
Hey, how did Sax respond? A, he challenged the guy to a musical duel.
Okay.
B, he challenged the guy to an arsenic swallowing
Cop
contest.
that.
Or C, he challenged the guy to a good old-fashioned gun duel.
Oh,
if it had turned out to be A, I'll be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You guys
yeah,
having
it's
fun?
either the musical duel
yeah,
or the
man.
C.
I'm having a blast.
I was gone for so long, I forgot,
Believe in yourself a little bit more.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no room for that crippling self-doubt. There's only room for one person to do that on this set, and it's fucking me.
I've never seen someone be so confident with their lack of self-esteem.
It's an art form, and I've perfected it over the years.
Oh, God.
Beefy baby, what do we got?
Hey,
I'm gonna hit C.
dipshit.
Draw.
Let's go.
Okay. And Stevie.
That one is the obvious answer, so I'm going with C. Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I
Take
went
off.
with, too.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out via the magic of theater. Bye-bye.
I...
Voila!
Oh, there's
my
Sax.
masterpiece, the thing I'll forever be known for inventing, the bass clarinet. Fa! Fa, I say! I am one of the greatest bass clarinetists in
see.
Brussels, and I say fa. If your instrument replaces old tutors here, I'll quit the band. You are a stubborn fool, and to prove it, I challenge you. Oh, to what? A gun duel? Yes, except instead of guns, we will use music.
Really?
Accept the terms. You go first. Very well.
Okay, I'll admit.
Well, if that's the best you can do, I hope you're ready to be branded a loser. Prepare your ears for the erotic sounds of my
Erotic,
horrible
oh, God.
clarinet.
That's a tuba.
I think I'm gonna take the W on this one. Yes, I sounded very bad.
Okay. My bad. I thought it was...
For Beef Boy. In an industry rife with proud...
Okay, I really thought it was the gun duel, to be
Sax
honest.
was especially
Like, no way it was
arrogant
gonna be
And
magic.
would often embarrass his detractors in musical duels. With lots of big ideas and the musical chops to back them up, Adolphe spent most of his 20s honing his craft in Belgium, making quite a name for himself in the instrument-making racket.
How do you even know how to make an instrument?
How does anyone know how to make
I think I
anything?
just
How
learned.
did they do it?
I can't
How did they do
make
it?
anything.
How did anyone make a cake? You know?
One step
if
at a
I had to
time.
invent a shoe, it would look so bad and probably too small for most people.
Is it because you never wear shoes?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, do you?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
you can have my shoe.
By 1841, at
Oh, here
age
we go.
27, Adolphe was working on something big. He was going to be presenting a new instrument, this time totally original, to the Belgian National Convention. An early iteration of the, that's right, saxophone.
Saxophone.
This was a huge deal. The last new instrument to be introduced in Western music was the clarinet, more than 100 years prior.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Damn,
it's a
100
long time
years
to go
ago.
without a new instrument.
New instrument just
Dang.
dropped.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now, Sax wasn't just hitting that fat brass so he could make money. He was trying to solve a legitimate problem in orchestras.
Really?
As author Michael Siegel describes in his book, The Devil's Horn, quote,
That's
in
a
an
thing?
orchestra, the strings were often overwhelmed by the woodwinds, which in turn were overpowered by the brasses. Sax had created an instrument with the tonal qualities of the woodwinds, the projection of the brasses, and the flexibility of the strings. Essentially, Sax envisioned his horn to be the rug that would tie the whole orchestra together.
Is this the last
Oh,
instrument
harmony,
that was
okay.
invented? Because I just realized how excited I would be if it got announced that like the Philharmonic is gonna have a new instrument they're gonna debut, like a big fucked up horn, like a like
Yeah, like a big old like,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
like made a
something
noise
like
like,
that. Yeah,
it's like a dog.
it's just a fucking dog.
Well, unfortunately, the music world wasn't reacting to Sax's new phone with much celebration. Reportedly, the exhibition refused to give him first prize because he was too young, informing him that, well, if they gave him this prize now, there would be nothing else for him to win later.
Ouch.
That's bullshit.
We've all been there.
Yeah, that's
Naturally.
harsh.
People die all the time. Give them
come
their
on.
accolades when they're young, you know?
Agreed.
I
Appreciate
got eaten
them.
by a dinosaur.
That's true. What was hell like?
I didn't actually see hell.
I feel like you saw hell. I feel like you're lying to me.
Why did you assume you went to hell?
I mean,
Did you go to heaven?
we could run a whole video reel on why you would go to hell. You know?
I'm a nasty little guy.
Yeah, very much.
There are
Yikes. Poor Sax. Like, seriously. Like, can you imagine, like, making, like, this instrument and just, like, no, you can't win. You're too young. If you did, you wouldn't be able to win anything else. Like, dude, that's a slap in the face if I ever heard one. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. How about give him a little help, huh? Jeez. If I heard that, I would have been like, well, fuck you too, buddy. Oy. Anyway,
Also reports that a competitor at the exhibition saw the early saxophone and kicked it across the floor, breaking the instrument and Sax's heart.
Wow.
That's nasty. Band kids are feral.
Talk about
That's competitive.
dickhead.
They just challenge each other to
A
get
lot
the
of
first
angst
chair.
in band kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeesh.
like in
Angsty
basketball,
band
like
kids,
a sport,
indeed.
you get all that out.
Aye, aye, aye.
You just gotta sit there
Yeah.
and listen to this fucking guy solo next to you. And loving every second of it, too.
That was a nervous creature.
I didn't even tried it.
Don't call yourself a creature, dude.
Well, the Belgian National Convention of 1841 was the last straw for our grumpy little Sax. He wasn't
Can't
getting
blame
the
him.
respect he felt he deserved stuck in podunk Brussels. In 1842,
that's just like a
Adolphe
dickhead.
Sax took his talent to cosmopolitan Paris, where he
Paris.
hoped he would find an urbane crowd appreciative of the funny-looking horn he'd named after himself. Unfortunately, Paris
Not so much.
wasn't all baguettes, sex, and eclairs. For most of his time in Paris, Adolphe lived in poverty. Albert Remy, one of Adolphe's biographers, describes Adolphe's time in the City of Lights as, quote, a prodigious, tormented existence, darkened by dire experiences and upheld with courage and fortitude. Which is also
Damn.
what Bergara says to me anytime I ask him how his weekend was.
Yeah,
Now,
sounds about right.
Adolphe Sax clearly had a great idea. He just needed to spread that idea. So he decided to take a page from his father's score. He sought a deal with the government to outfit the French military band. To secure this contract, Adolphe presented his new and improved saxophone at the 1844 Paris Industrial Exhibition,
please.
including to Lieutenant General Comte de Rumigny, the king's aide-de-camp.
Rumigny?
De Rumigny was blown away by Sax's phone and thought it
Hey.
was just the thing needed to revitalize the French military's less than exceptional band. De Rumigny
Nice.
arranged for Sax
Nice,
to
Rum.
give a performance for King Louis Philippe, Queen Marie Amélie, and their sons.
He made him have like that Ratatouille moment.
Yeah.
When he bites into the ratatouille, he sees his whole childhood flash before his eyes.
Yeah. If I had never heard a
you
saxophone
imagine
in
that?
my
Yeah.
life and someone walked into a room and started going like, I'd be like, holy shit!
Me too.
Damn!
Like, dude, that's the best sounding thing I've ever heard in my life. And why does he not have a shirt on?
Yeah, it's a sexy instrument. You get real sweaty when you play it too.
I wish that was.
I
a
want to
rule.
know.
You can
No
never,
shirts?
You can never play a saxophone with a shirt on.
No shirts, yes sax.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play
Coming
instruments.
off this momentum, Adolphe wrote the French Minister of War, laying out his plan to totally overhaul the sound of France's military, courtesy of the hot new sound provided by his sexy little saxophone. Now, there was only one man standing in the way, the director in charge of training the military's band, Michel Carafa. Carafa was one of Adolphe's many detractors, and he had
boy.
submitted his own saxophone-free plan to revitalize France's war sound. This was such high stakes that a simple
Damn.
symphonic duel wasn't going to settle matters. There needed to be a whole battle of the bands. The date,
this sounds
April
good.
22nd, 1844. The place, Paris's Champ de Mars, a big park that
big
would, in a
picture,
few years, have a big pointy steel tower erected
Oh
above
yeah,
it.
the Eiffel Tower.
The combatants, Adolphe Sax versus Michel Carafa. Both men had assembled 45-piece orchestras, but Adolphe was at a disadvantage.
How so?
What was the disadvantage? A. Someone had bribed members of Adolphe's orchestra to not show up. B. Someone had switched out all of the sheet music for Adolphe's songs. Or C. Someone had poisoned Adolphe the night before.
Oh, damn, like the Jordan flu game scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I know what you're talking about.
Well,
He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's when Jordan had the flu, but he also had a game.
Okay, it's gotta be A or C again. I don't know about the.
Actually, he ate
actually-
some bad pizza.
He had bad pizza?
Let me
Yeah,
imagine.
That's
Yeah.
the real story.
Yeah, but the people who
See,
made the pizza
I mean, I
purpose.
didn't really say sabotage.
It had been sitting out
Would
for
it?
a while.
Well, hey,
Tough.
wait, I have an
All
idea.
right.
Why don't you guys
What?
answer
What?
the fucking question?
Okay, okay.
I can talk about sports more. How about we talk about
that?
sports?
Sea flu games.
See flu game!
I'm gonna go
Money
B, sabotage.
That's pretty good.
B, sabotage?
Well, a point for Stephen Lim.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow, primed.
You got it. You got your
doing
business
so
boy
good.
here.
Yes, at least
So,
two
wow.
bass saxophonists didn't show up on the day, and some reports claim Adolphe's band was 20% smaller than the competition. This
Oh.
only motivated Sax further. He showed up to lead his band with two instruments strapped to his side.
Oh,
Damn.
shit, dude.
Double wielding.
Insane.
Dual wield.
This 20 20,000 people showed up to witness the carnage of battle. Though applausometer technology was still centuries away, it was clear who won by the reaction of the crowd.
So they did it Apollo style, or like You Got Served style.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Who do you
Cool,
think won?
cool.
You know, I'm gonna go with sax because
Sax.
there's
It
a
has
reason
to be
why the
sax,
saxophone
right?
is around. I assume it's because the sax played mightily, and everyone was like, "Damn, what's that sexy instrument? And where can I get the nearest hotel room?"
Well, in fact, Sax kicked Carafa's brass. Part of the
There you go.
victory could be attributed to the plain fact that they had an easier time hearing Sax. Imagine a crowd of 20,000 people trying to hear a concert with no sound amplification. Making instruments loud, however, was Sax's bread and butter. His original
true.
instruments, plus the modifications he added to the traditional
Oh,
instruments,
see ya.
meant more people could hear and react to his
And
band
Michelle
sounds.
is
Sax
out.
emerged triumphant. The quote, talk of Paris for days.
I'm just imagining how goofy these modifications looked, like some Doc Brown giant. You know the thing they put on like a dog.
Oh, the
head so it
one-man
doesn't
band
look
kinda
like a
deal?
ball
I
doctor?
assume it was conical.
Even like the shape of the sax today, and I get it now. It's like it's pointing up so that the sound comes out at
yeah.
you like a megaphone. Whereas the clarinet, we're going down.
You're going straight
We're
down.
going straight down to the
Yeah,
ground.
straight to the
Right,
floor.
good point.
Set it up
Right.
where you can hear it in
Well,
the
the
ear.
French military immediately adopted the saxophone and, wouldn't you know it, started winning more musical contests. For his
Hey.
part, securing that fat government contract finally meant a bit of financial breathing room for Adolphe. Unfortunately, it also intensified the hatred that every other music man in Paris felt toward the Belgian import. I mean, hey, you know,
Oh,
you start
boy.
picking up some
Someone's
popularity,
jelly.
You're gonna get your haters, baby.
Well, we should be thankful.
You ain't wrong there.
No,
I'm
we
thankful
don't
for
have
my haters. I'm thankful for my haters every day.
Me too.
I'm thankful
we
for
all?
my haters. They make me stronger.
Exactly. Every morning I say in the mirror, if you hate me, thank you.
By this time, the fierce rivalry Sax had with more or less everyone had grown into an entire lifestyle. Sax's enemies formed a coalition with the express purpose of destroying the saxophone and with it, Sax's life. The Association of United Instrument Makers, as the group was known, had a president, a treasurer, and dues-paying members. And they pursued every possible avenue to destroy Adolphe Sax.
Sounds like Twitter nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Sounds like someone does have some haters.
Hey.
Love you.
Aren't we
The
all?
group filed countless lawsuits against him, not just to try and financially ruin him, but also so he would be tied up in court instead of hanging out in his workshop, absolutely dominating the industry. In fact, a big
Did it work?
reason why the saxophone looks how it does was in response to one of the myriad frivolous lawsuits thrown at him.
Oh.
The German chapter of the group, that's right, it was
got a
international,
German?
made an
Jesus.
instrument with a similar shape, hoping to compete with the saxophone. But its sound paled in comparison, and it fell into obscurity. Sax's foes would even bribe his employees to abandon Sax and steal his specialized tools.
I don't
Wow.
understand the concentrated hate for
Jesus.
this like saxophone. Did this guy do something else like behind the scenes that we're not aware
that's-
of?
I
Did he
wanna
bang these
know.
people's wives?
Maybe
Or?
people thought it was just an obnoxious noise.
It's loud. It is a loud instrument.
And also, it's a modern sounding instrument, you know? It's got that new.
People's gonna have to get used to it.
Like people hating on BTS when they came on the scene.
Right,
You know,
right.
they're
Yeah,
objectively a good band with great music, but
Yes.
then it's easy to hate because they're not the classical music that you.
They're not
used
the
to.
Beatles.
So I guess like they just didn't think, oh, this is gonna ruin the way of life. We gotta stop it. Always happens in those years, aren't they? Oh, poor Sax. Like you gotta admit, you gotta feel bad for the poor dude. You know, like seriously. Like he's just trying to make music, and these fuckheads are like, no, we must stop you and ruin you. And the fact there's one in Germany, I don't even know where else. Like, I know America's here, but I don't think they're on the world stage yet. Still, though, it's gotta be a dick move, you know? Really? Alright, let's see what else happened to poor Sax.
Well, despite all these efforts, Sax continued to absolutely wipe the floor with his opponents in musical duels. At one point, 12 of his saxatubas, that's
Wait,
right,
12?
there are other instruments in the sax family, were able to drown out a reported 1,500 instruments.
Let's play that
1,500?
scenario.
How the hell?
Very doubtful. They set this up. A group of 12 people versus 15. That's a lot of people.
Whoa,
That's
but you gotta see this instrument.
Oh,
This is
whoa,
wild.
Oh shit! It's fucking
Oh my god, that is huge!
Playing this thing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Unable to compete
That
with
is
Sax
huge.
musically, his antagonists resorted to attempts on his life. One would-be assassin ended up stabbing an employee of Sax's to death instead of Sax himself.
It's another pro of not living with
Wow.
too. No one really knows what
Assassins.
Yeah.
Oh
If
god.
Sax were alive today, he'd probably be all over the internet.
Yeah.
He'd want to get it out there, like, yeah, check out this instrument. He'd be all over TikTok.
When you say it that way, I would probably start to hate him if my
Yeah.
feed just kept getting like overpopulated by a dude playing
Sax.
saxophone.
You'd hear that little TikTok.
Overexposure.
voice,
Yeah,
like,
makes
check
sense.
out this new instrument.
God, I fucking had
Not this again.
What you doing? They gotta stop.
Oh god.
Another put a whole ass bomb under Sax's bed, only to see it explode prematurely because of a faulty fuse. If only these a-holes had known what everyone in Belgium learned when Sax was a wee boy. Adolphe
Yeah,
Sax
good luck.
could not be killed. Then, in early 1848, Adolphe suffered the biggest blow to the saxophone's rise.
Oh,
What
now what?
happened? A. Adolphe Sax was finally murdered. B. The invention of the guitar.
Don't think
or
we're there
C.
yet.
Revolution.
Oh yeah.
I think knowing this time.
Oh yeah. Here we go. And what would be Bergara guitar?
See,
baby.
viva la
You
revolution!
all know I played the
baby.
guitar.
I think I remember
for
that,
a couple
right?
months
There was a
when
world
I got my
revolution in
heart broken.
1884
Yeah.
or 48.
And I
Sorry.
never picked it up again.
B got hit with that G-string.
Jesus.
K-string.
Oh, B-boys! We got B-boys again, huh?
B-boys.
B-boys. B-boys.
I know you're trying to coax another belly button playing out, but it's not gonna happen.
I know what I'm trying to do.
What if I then
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
You know what? So you can hear it a little better. Here we go.
Oh god.
Here we go. Yeah, look at that.
Okay. I wonder if this
Why is it weird if we did it to him than to me?
what the hell?
All right, here we go. Yeah.
This is the weirdest debut ever for season premiere. Well,
I gotta
Yeah,
say.
I got a little hot and bothered
okay.
there.
What's the answer? What's the
my angle
answer?
of that was not the best.
All
All right, let's find out via the magic of theater.
right, see you around.
Another
Hey,
day,
Sax.
another dollar. I hope the king wants some more instruments. Oh, these lawsuits are getting a little pricey. Bonjour. How may I help you? Yes,
hey,
I'm here
is
to
the king
see
doing okay?
The king. Oof. Well, a bit of bad news. The king has been deposed. He's been deposed? Oui.
Hey, I'm back in action.
It's a French Revolution, you know, but not the big
1884
one.
revolution,
The king's
or
gone,
48
but I can tell
revolution.
the
Let's
new
go.
rulers you're here if you want to talk to them. What's your name? I am Adolphe Sax.
Sax.
Oof. What?
What do you mean, oof?
Well, you're Adolphe Sax as in the saxophone, right? Oh, the very same.
Yeah, same
Fine.
thing.
Some recognition. Oui. Well, because your instruments are now pretty associated with that old king's army, and since we're not big fans of that old king's armies, every instrument with your name on it is banned from bands.
Oh.
Okay, so au revoir.
Ouch. Fuck this.
This is such a weird thing. He's given
That's
humanity,
gotta hurt.
and they're making it very hard for him to give that gift. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah, points for neither of you. It
Yeah,
took
let's see.
a literal revolution to get the soulful
What?
sound of that sweet, sweet saxophone out of France. The only
Wah,
good news
wah.
for Sax was that in 19th century France, you never had to wait too long for another revolution. By 1852, a mere 4 years later,
Oh, yeah, Napoleon III.
not to be
Hi.
confused with Bonaparte, overthrew the Second Republic and seized dictatorial powers. 2 days after
Thanks.
taking power, one of his first acts as ruler, Napoleon III restored the saxophone to regiment ensembles. Well, unfortunately for
Thank
our
you.
boy, the good news didn't last long. In 1853 and for the next several years, Sax's life was made incredibly difficult by a cancerous tumor growing on his lip. The tumor resisted treatment, growing to a, quote, grotesque size, making
Oh,
eating
that
impossible
can't be bad.
and even threatening to suffocate him. Of course, the horrible irony is that if Adolphe couldn't breathe, he certainly couldn't make his funky horn sing. By 1858, he basically had two options. He could die, or he could try to survive surgery that would remove half of his jaw. Sax, never one to conform to the options laid out before him, turned to a doctor from India named Dr. Vries, who gave Sax an Ayurvedic treatment, basically secret herbal extractions from India. 6 months later, the tumor started to shrink until it disappeared completely.
Damn.
Again, worth saying, Adolphe Sax could not be killed.
Like an herbal remedy that works on a tumor?
Really?
Yes.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what
Weird.
the hell?
Do they use whatever that guy
Do we
gave
have
him
that?
now? Today?
I don't know. Maybe it was a very specific kind of tumor.
I've never heard of anything like that. That's like the craziest thing in this whole story.
It's a good story.
No
right?
kidding.
It is
How?
a good story. I'm just curious.
He literally survived cancer with herbal remedies.
Well, that brings us to 1894, when Adolphe Sax caught lousy old pneumonia and died at the age of 79.
Poor Sax.
At the time, he was working as a stage manager at the Paris Opera House and living off a small pension that he'd successfully begged from the French government, hoping it would give him, quote, a few hours of peace in a life consumed by trouble. And as we heard,
Amen.
he wasn't lying. Because of how he'd been hounded by his adversaries, he'd been forced to declare bankruptcy 3 times in his life and sold off all his rare instruments and handmade tools.
Wow.
Ouch.
Sad instrument.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad
poor
and
him.
sexy at the same time.
You're a band guy. Was there any kind of like stereotype to a saxophone player?
I always regretted not playing the sax
Really?
because it's so cool.
It's definitely cooler than the clarinet. I'll say that.
For sure.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah.
Lizzie's
Let's try
shaking
that
her
sometime,
head.
you know?
Sorry, it is.
I think that's also why she doesn't understand that it's cooler.
I also wish I played trumpet because people say that trumpet.
Yeah, one of the
players,
coolest instruments
yeah.
there ever was.
They say
Amen.
they make the best kissers.
That's
Really?
true.
That sounds like something people would say in like band, like in middle school.
When a trumpeter kisses you, it's like,
I've seen like solos of Dizzy Gillespie just going crazy. It's like, can you imagine your first date? Like, great night.
well, at the
Okay,
time of his
I gotta
death,
breathe.
Sax had 35 patents to his name and many ideas for
35.
other spectacular fantasies. His unproduced inventions include the Sax Thunder, which was a giant
Thunder.
organ powered by a steam engine that was to
Really?
be about 167 feet tall. And then,
Jesus,
of course,
how are you gonna
there
play
was
that?
the Saxo Cannon.
A cannon?
Was
What?
the Saxo Cannon? Describe it for me, and heck, why not even do a little drawing?
Okay.
No, I'm not the best artist, so I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna say it's like a mortar or something. I don't know.
Not great.
Like mortar in the
Down.
You know, like a rocket launcher, but it kind of looks like a saxophone. Like you could.
Yeah, I
see
think
the
it's more
top
like a
end playing with
bazooka.
buttons.
And
You know, like those artillery cannons just.
Mine's basically a saxophone with a big hole. But notice that the saxophone players are always like this. They're always leaning.
Uh-huh.
So
I mean,
I
it's
thought
called
he
the
was
cannon,
Like,
I
a
don't know.
saxophone that catches cannonballs. I don't know.
Oh, it's an acceptor too.
Yes.
Well, you know, you're both sort of in the ballpark, so I'm gonna give a jelly bean to both of you. I know that means nothing, but it should mean something.
What you got? You got, buddy.
That's great. I mean, it's a good
All
drawing.
right, what do you got? What do you got?
Now, unlike his other inventions meant for military bands, the Saxo Cannon was to be an actual weapon. It was to
Really?
be a mortar bullet 11 yards
Mortar
wide,
bullet?
weighing 550 tons. And Sax
Jesus.
believed it would be powerful enough to take out an entire city.
Dude, so it's kind of like what I
Holy
was saying
shit!
before. When you make a flute into a weapon.
Exactly.
God.
Fuck yeah,
Holy
that's
crap!
kind of a genius. Not because he said something that was.
I think I'm kind of glad he didn't make that weapon. Like, holy crap!
I've heard of Oppenheimer, but Beboppenheimer? Thank you.
Oh,
A
nice.
century after Adolphe's death, the saxophone barely survived. People thought it sounded too carnal, too voluptuous, which people often say about me as well. The friggin' Pope hated the dang thing, and few music schools were willing to teach it. Eventually,
So what
the
happened?
instrument came to the Americas as part of the French military band led by Napoleon III in the 1860s. But it wasn't
Dang.
until the jazz world embraced the funny tutor that the saxophone assured its place not just in music history, but also in music future. Jazz, baby.
I wonder what
Oh,
the
yeah,
popularity
baby.
of the saxophone was before jazz. Like it probably was seen as like a very novel idea
Yeah.
to implement this instrument that everyone hates.
Though he never had much money, Sax knew he was leaving behind quite the legacy. As he boasted, quote, Before me, I am proud to say, the musical instrument industry was nothing, or next to nothing, in France. I created this industry. I carried it to an unrivaled height. I developed the legions of workers and musicians.
Yeah, and nearly
it is above all my counterfeiters who have profited from my work. Whew. Hard to believe this guy stirred up so many enemies, right?
Starting to
Amen.
think why he was a little unpopular.
I blame him?
didn't speak until then, but I was like, why does everyone giving this guy shit? And he's like, the music industry isn't
ready for me.
Business, man. I am the business, man.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
That concludes our history lesson.
I'll take the
Now,
first loss.
In the past, we relied on a complicated algorithm to determine the history master. But
Yeah.
I've since taken a large mallet to that stupid algorithm machine and left it to sit unsupervised in the Watcher Entertainment dumpster next to that equally stupid hologram box from last season.
Dude.
Yeah.
I wish
Look
I
at
could
that
have been
guy.
there to fucking take a huge dump on that algorithm machine.
Oh, yeah, I beat
True.
the living
Saw it.
shit out of it. So I'm
Yo,
gonna
what do you
head
got?
backstage and try to do math on my own. In the meantime,
Good luck.
enjoy this special performance from one of Adolphe Sax's scrapped instrument prototypes. I'll see you in a bit. Boom.
See ya.
Forgot there were songs on the show.
This is the best part.
The mother of invention is both passion and intention, and the plight can be rewarding, but it also can drag ass. And every grand creation's just the final iteration in a cavalcade of pitiful rough drafts. And so
It's me.
Failed instrument prototype 73. And I sound like. And it sounds like. The most god-awful record that you'll ever hear. You wish
Damn.
that the hungry sewer rats would gnaw your ears. The drum go boom, and the horn will toot-a-toot. But I sound like a cow with hemorrhoid attempting to prove. Baby, I sound bad. Yeah, I do. Oh. Well, I still recall the day when Adolphe took me out to play and put his sweet wet Belgian lips upon my shiny little mouth. And with his smooches motorboating up against my special opening, what a dreadful horrid screeching I let out.
Are you the one that got kicked?
Oh, the crowd, when they heard my wretched sound, how'd they take it? Oh, well, a fancy lady puked into her daughter's lap. The straight monkey crashed.
Christ!
Bible in the trash. The dogs all howl and the mice went squeak.
Yeesh.
Half the mezzanine ran out and laid down in the street. Oh, baby, I sound bad. How
About that.
Oh.
Poor dude.
You know, after my first performance, I was attacked by an angry mob who stuffed me in a sack with some stones and tossed me in the river. But I soon beckoned to some passers-by, like when those kids found Jumanji. And so now I'm back to let the world hear my fucking terrible noise. Check it out,
Why?
I'm horrible.
Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Are we sure we're not in hell? What the hell? You done?
I gotta do more fucking cardio or something. Oh, God.
You done?
Oh, well, I clearly could have used some extra bells on the side. Well, too bad. I guess I'll just have to go eat shit and die.
Pretty much.
Rat-a-tats and a guitar shreds. But the noise that I emit will have you begging for death. Oh, baby. Oh, I sound bad. Yeah, I do.
Hi.
I enjoy
Well, that happened. I got nothing else to say. Hey, Professor, welcome back.
Instrument, but an absolutely stunning song.
Yeah, true.
Now, you guys are never gonna believe this, but
Steven?
I am bad at math.
Okay.
And frankly,
Of course.
I simply cannot bear the weight of choosing the winner. On one hand, Ryan, you're my best friend, and you saved the lives of me and my wonderful parents. On the other hand, Steven, you're our guest, and you're a sweet little angel.
Thank you.
But this is a quiz show. There has to be a winner, or people are gonna whine about it in the comments and maybe even dox me. What is this show
Dox you.
anymore? I don't even understand what.
Hey, son, it's all right.
You're doing
Oh,
a great job,
hey, guys.
sweetie.
Oh, thanks, guys.
There's the title parents.
How's
Look at
it going
that.
adjusting to life millions of years in the future?
You doing all right?
Tight.
Yeah, we learned about all the modern marvels like dogs, math, fax machines.
You haven't eaten them, have you?
And I'm still getting the hang of the whole capitalism invention.
Oh, are you
Oh,
thinking
boy.
about getting a job?
We've been faxing his resume to every number we could come up with.
What have
boy.
you even done in this modern era worth putting on a resume?
Let's see. Says here I learned the alphabet and I ate 3 dogs.
Honey, 4
Oh, boy.
dogs.
Hey, son,
4.
crazy pitch.
Jesus
But
Christ.
since we're unemployed and got nothing better to do, how about we pick the winner?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Steven, Ryan, are you guys down with that?
No, that sounds weird.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, hi.
I think the beefy boy.
I gotta eat some beefy boy.
All right, this ought to be interesting.
I don't want to deal. I don't want to deal. I don't want to deal
So,
with this. and get
this ought to be interesting. So the parents are choosing. All right.
Wait.
Takes it off there, huh?
After dutiful consideration, a decision has been reached. We hereby award the coveted cap and title of History Lizard
Wizard.
Stephen Lim. Also, hereby award yet another coveted cap to our son's friend and our savior, Beef Boy.
Wait, so
Oh,
we
they both get it.
both get a cap?
I'll take
This
it.
has never
I'll take it.
happened.
Oh man, this is like
Hey.
a participation trophy.
Yeah, high five.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Both teams played hard bullshit.
Okay, guys,
Yeah,
come on
it's
up
fine.
here and get your hat, Steven.
All
Why don't you
right,
come up here?
cool.
Hey, look at
There
that.
you
That's a
go.
real hat. Do I get to keep
Look
this?
at that.
Yeah, you do.
I think you misspelled it here.
Okay.
Yeah, it
guys,
says lizard.
History Wizard.
Yeah, history lizard.
No,
Okay,
wizards
well,
with the W.
That's close enough, I guess.
Yeah, I guess,
These
yeah.
guys with their coveted caps.
It's a little weird that his says history wizard and mine just says beef, but
Whoa,
you know,
looks
we'll
good on you.
look past that.
Now that's
Yeah.
friendship right there. Well, Stephen Lim, thank you for being here.
That's funny.
Ryan, thank you for being a friend. And to all you folks at home, thanks for watching Puppet.
See you in the next one.
The details are always
Oh, he's a little fuzzy.
Vaya con Dios.
Adios.
Well, I still recall the day.
Well, that was fun. It was actually really weird, but hey, I liked it. There we go. The history of the saxophone told by the professor. Let me know what you guys think. Honestly, it's definitely a fun ride. Well, anyway, until next time, like, subscribe for more. See ya.